thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
This is
Welcome to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, and there is a look at a beautiful facility here in Central Virginia. We are excited for today's Division III tri-match featuring the host, University of Lynchburg Hornets, Bridgewater College, and University of Mary Washington. Hello, friends and fans. Welcome inside the pool. I'm Joe Hutzler, riding solo with you today. A first for us on LHSN, our very first swimming broadcast in the first home meet for University of Lynchburg since way back in 1971. That was the last year that they had both a men's and women's program until this very year here for Coach Dunn and the Hornets. Today will be interesting. We'll see how things play out in terms of our broadcast, in terms of the athletes that are in the pool as well. According to history, Mary Washington has the best of it in terms of their success year in and year out. But hey, who knows? They got to get in the pool first and see how things go. We're still waiting a little bit on some heat sheets and trying to figure out who's swimming what event, and we're waiting for that information as well. So we'll just try to play it by ear at the moment, so we apologize that things aren't super polished just yet, but we've got a great crowd here tonight. We've got 3 spectacular teams and a lot of unknowns that we're really excited about as well. So we'll step aside for a few moments. When we come back, hopefully we'll have our first event of the meet, the 4x50 meter relay. Back in a moment on LHSN.
This is
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Look what you're missing!
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy. Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Welcome back inside Liberty University's natatorium in Lynchburg, Virginia. And we're still awaiting some issues with heat sheets and who's racing what events and all that good stuff. So it's actually kind of interesting. There was a lot of confusion today on when this meet actually started, because originally it was scheduled for 6 p.m. So a lot of people are asking me today, specifically workers of LHSNs, if we were at 5:30 or we were at 6. Well, it changed to 5:30 officially earlier this week, but now it's looking closer to 6 o'clock as we still await the beginning of the meet. It is going to be the 4x50 meter medley event with females to start things off. So we will start and finish with relays today. And we actually will have a couple heats and a few races. The second heat is exhibition. And I also was told that the final race of the meet is going to be an exhibition as well, mainly for University of Mary Washington as they try to get some practice in on that event. We're still waiting for the list of events, so sorry I can't give that to you at the moment, but I think, do we have the last event of the day? It is. I'm going to scroll down the list here. So we're just going to take you behind the scenes. So I'm going to talk to my director while we're on air. The last event that we have listed is the individual medley, the 100 meter for men's, which is correct. That is the last event that will count towards points and wins and losses. There'll be one after that that is an exhibition that will feature all three teams, but it's really just for Mary Washington to get practice. So we'll clear all that up as we go today, but really excited to have some help. I am not a swimming expert whatsoever. I know how to swim, but I do not know how to swim this way. I don't know all the ins and outs of what it takes to be a great swimmer, other than just be fast and beat your opponent to the wall. But we will have coaches along the broadcast today to help us out. So Brad Dunn will be with us. Donna Hodgert will be with us. She also is the facilities manager for this pool. So we'll talk a little bit about the facility as well here at Liberty University. Top 2 in the country for a multitude of reasons. And also Coach Aaron Green will be with us, as he just finished his senior year at Widener this past spring. Now he's at Lynchburg as a graduate assistant, actually lives in the same apartment complex that I do. He's my neighbor, as a matter of fact. And him and I will hopefully just stick to talking about swimming, but hey, who knows? If we get to be a part of one of those 1,000-ish meter races, then we may have to spice it up a little bit. Great crowd on hand today of mainly women's lacrosse players. That's because Micah Slacum is also a swimmer for University of Lynchburg. So she's been double dipping this fall as a lacrosse player during their fall ball sessions and as a swimmer for Coach Brad Dunn. There's another two-sport athlete on swimming, which would be Chris Jennings. His mom introduced me to her today. She made her first trip here to Lynchburg to watch her son swim. So we'll see him about midway through the meet today. He will also be in action tomorrow and Sunday as a member of Lynchburg men's lacrosse. So a very busy time for Micah and Chris on the campus of University of Lynchburg. I have other notes regarding the other institutions, but kind of want to hold off and see if we can use them as the meet progresses. So I'm going to get a drink of water, and you can do whatever helps you get through the waiting that is the start of this meet. We'll be back in a few moments.
Hi, I'm Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something. It becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Okay. We're good.
Look what you're missing!
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do. Nope.
This is.
Cool.
This is.
Welcome back to the pool and a look at one of our esteemed colleagues at University of Lynchburg. Ed DeClaire is here. He is the director for Westover Honors at University of Lynchburg, who now have a new home in the new residence hall, which will also be dedicated this coming Friday on October 25th. Not the only stud in the house. Mark Robertson to the left, Aaron Green in the middle of your screen. Coach Green's going to be with us here shortly on the broadcast. And of course, it would not be a University of Lynchburg event without John Waters. There he is on your right talking to Randy Bauer, one of our drivers at University of Lynchburg, and he's been the man responsible for busing the team back and forth from Lynchburg's campus to Liberty University Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. here in this pool. And we thank him for his unwavering support of University athletics, not just the teams that he drives around, but also the teams in general on campus. All right, so we do have heat sheets in front of us, so that means that we are one step closer to the start of this meet. So we will step aside for a little bit longer. The national anthem will play, and when we come back, we will begin with the 200-yard medley relay, heat 1 of 1 on LHSN.
Ha ha! Look what you're missing!
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Okay, back in the pool here at Liberty University, and actually we're not in the pool because that's a lot of money wasted, but we are just on the side of the pool, and they're about to play the national anthem, and that means it's time for me to be quiet and for us to go to another break.
This is Okay, that is the universal sign that we are ready to go. National anthem has been played and completed, and we are ready for the first home meet for University of Lynchburg since 1971. So they're going to do a test start, and we're going to take a look at the first event, the 200 medley relay, and you can see the lane positions there for each squad. And of course, we'll tell you who's in the pool
as we go along. I do want to state there are a lot of names, and I apologize if I do mess up any of the names from Bridgewater, Mary Washington, or even Lynchburg for that matter. Okay, moment of truth. Eight lanes filled up here for the first event. And they are off. I don't know if that's a proper term, but that's what we're going to use. So at the turn, Claudia Keller is in front. For Mary Wash, Mackenzie Katzer next. Lynchburg in the pool, nice split for the Hornets, getting back. Alyssa Reed going out front early for Lynchburg, giving them a bit of a cushion here on the breaststroke. Claire Galloway in that lane for the Hornets, lane 4, and still out front. Two Eagles flanking her in lanes 3 and 6.
Every single touch, every
And a great push at the end, but still Lynchburg out in front. Galloway with a split of 16.68 on her 50. Molly Shand, 12.20 to the wall. On her way back. Still about a body length for Lynchburg. Good run here. But two Eagles coming in hot. Here's the last group. For Lynchburg, it's Abby Arthur. Mary Washington, Callie Dunham's in the pool. Julia Geski's in the pool. Here come the Eagles. Arthur still out front by a nose. Arthur to the wall. It'll be Lynchburg. Mary Washington coming in second and third. What a start for the Hornets in their first home meet. 13.89 for Arthur, 152.94 for the team. Lynchburg first, Mary Washington second and third and fourth. Lynchburg's second team in fifth. Another Mary Wash team in 6th, 7th, and then in 8th, Bridgewater College. Your top 8. So now time for the men's 200-yard medley relay. There's a look at your lane assignments for each school. 2 teams for the Hornets. Six for the Eagles. And they're away again. Kevin Bennett, swimmer of the week in the ODAC a few weeks ago for Lynchburg. He'll be the lead dog for the Hornets on the backstroke. Gareth Mancini first to the wall for the Eagles. And Mancini first all the way. So the Eagles first to get into the pool on the second leg. Who will it be this time after 25? It's still lane 6 for the Eagles. Coming in strong, Mark Dye in lane 8. 6 with a slight advantage. 3 Eagles in the pool before a Hornet dives in. For Lynchburg, it's Parker Hands. So 3 Eagles leading the pack right now. Lynchburg 4th in this 200-yard medley relay. Now, though, it's lane 3 for Mary Washington. Nice comeback here. Alex Ang with a great split of 1370. On the way back, here's the finish. It's a dead heat between 3 Eagles. Who will it be at the wall? And it's lane 3, Ross Garrett. Garrett Ross, I beg your pardon. So it's Ross, McKee, Harnish, and then Lynchburg, Chris Jennings, the 4th swimmer in that group for Lynchburg. The first non-Mary Washington swimmer to finish up. So next we've got a long one for you. Women 1,000-yard freestyle, and then the men 1,000-yard freestyle. Coach Dunn will be joining me shortly to talk about his program during this long race. There's a look at your lane assignments and your swimmers. So once they get started, we will pause for a moment audio-wise, get Coach Dunn hooked up, and we'll be back. So enjoy the views and the sounds of the pool without my voice. Okay, Coach Dunn joins us now next to the pool.
All right.
As we continue to enjoy the sights and sounds. Coach, go ahead and let's see if you got your audio there.
You got me on there now?
Yes.
All right.
We do. Here. Okay, perfect. So, what did you think about the first 2 events? Because obviously a win in the first one has to be elation on your side to see them do so well in their first home meet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. The medley relays are something where they're our strongest relays, and it's always the first event of the meet. So excited that we get out there and take a big step with that. And really these kind of meets here in the middle of the season are just building confidence for our team. Giving them a chance to race somebody other than their teammates, and really excited that Mary Washington, my alma mater, and Bridgewater College are down here racing us tonight. This is a lot of fun.
What do you think about the atmosphere so far brought in by a lot of students and student athletes, and even so we've seen some professors that have never come to a swim meet before, but they're here to support your team?
I mean, it's awesome, right? From day one, that was what I knew was going to happen, because I think that's Lynchburg. That's our culture here, and you see it at all the games that you cover and the people that follow you and watch LHSN from around the world. And, it's cool that we give them an opportunity to see us firsthand, and I know that the swimmers really appreciate it as well.
No question about that. Now, we do want to dive in a little bit about the process for you. Obviously, your first head coaching job, and you're getting a brand new team. There's no culture already established, at least not since 1971. Yep. So can you take us back a little bit to what that was like, and if you reached the goals that you had set out for yourself last fall?
Yeah, no, it was, I think at times, it felt like it was clicking right along the way that we wanted it to, and at times it it felt pretty challenging. It was also frustrating to be a coach and commit to the sport that I love and love to be a part of, but kind of have to take a seat for a year, and watch the ODAC and watch my alma mater and other teams that I've coached have successful seasons. And the process was great where, when people came to visit us and we shared the vision and what we wanted the team to be, they saw Lynchburg, they saw the support, they saw what you guys do, they saw everything, that comes in the package, and they bought in. And these swimmers that are out here, the ones that are on this inaugural team, all bought into a vision. I appreciate that because they believe in me. And so far, it's been outstanding. I think that it's a little early to see if we've met our goals because, I want this to be not only just a flash in the pan, hey, this is a great meet type of culture, but a sustained culture, positive, energetic, having fun. I love looking over and seeing how many of our teammates are up cheering for maybe what some would call a boring event, but it was my event. I was a distance swimmer, and so that's one of the reasons too. I'm excited to be over here on the mic during it. Watching Hannah having a really great swim out here, and Olivia her first time out in the 1,000. It's an intimidating event to swim, and so really proud of these two women in the water right now.
What is the key to be successful in an event like this? And I don't mean just when you're in the pool during the race, but preparation-wise, is your training different than obviously someone who swims shorter distances?
Yeah, I mean, it's the training is different. You do a lot of stuff together, especially at our level, but you will do some stuff where you're kind of more in that aerobic zone and working, longer times, working pacing, technique, and all of that. And but it's just when it comes down to it, it's a different mentality where you're preparing yourself not to be this explosive athlete for 20 seconds like you would in the 50, but you're preparing yourself to be through, go through a pretty grueling, 15, 16-minute race. And that's when I'm talking about distance swimming, that's the mile. The 1,000 is the event that we swim at dual meets here. But when we get to conference, that turns into the mile, which is not 40 lengths of the pool, but 66 lengths of the pool. I get pretty offended when people would tell me they take a bathroom break during my event and they wouldn't miss anything.
Well, we're not missing anything today, thanks to the great crew we've got on hand. We'll also be in action tonight, Midnight Madness. Hopefully your team can still make it.
Oh, we're going to be there. We're going to be there, Joe. Don't worry.
That's going to be great. That starts at 10 p.m. tonight in Turner Gymnasium. I want to go back to the conversation. You already kind of alluded to it from year one to year two. Now you have a team to work with. What has been the biggest challenge from maybe trying to find stuff to do to now you have so much stuff to do?
Yeah, I think that a lot of it is obviously the time management, but also what I love about coaching is I get to be myself. And I love being energetic and having a lot of fun. It's taking a few more cups of coffee these days in season, but I think that really it's containing that excitement and budgeting it across the season. You don't want to just be all in, just extremely hyped every single night because you burn out pretty fast with that. And so it's doing things that creatively can keep the energy up at practice, keep the energy up with your training regimen, keep the swimmers engaged, but then also attract new swimmers as well. And continue to grow the program. And been very proud of the way that our swimmers have bought in, are having fun, excited, training hard, but then also are excited too to invite guests to campus to be recruits and look at our program and be a part of our future.
When you look at the sport of swimming itself, what does it mean to have a cathedral like this? Just overall, not talking about divisions, we're just talking about swimming.
Yeah.
Giving them this type of facility, showing them that much love.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely amazing. And Coach Jake Schellenberger, who is the head women's coach here at Liberty University, a fantastic coach, a gentleman I've learned a lot from. And, he's standing over here close to us, helping out with our swim meet, taking time out of his Friday night. His women are over here taking time out of their night to time for us. And so I think it's something that this cathedral, as you called it, is something that speaks to swimming, where it's something that's shared, and it's something that shares a vision of making swimming exciting. I think for a long time, our sport has been something that, it gets popular around the Olympics. But every swimmer that might be watching or listening to this eventually has been to meets that go for 10 hours, and it's boring. And it's, by the time you swim an event like this, the 1,000, it might be just your mom up in the stands, and she's pretty proud of you, but nobody else is watching. And, we're swimming a distance event here, and the crowd is wrapped around the stadium. We're wrapped around more like a basketball game or a football game would be. And I know that was Jake's vision with building this place, and to make it an exciting meet atmosphere, and so happy for how many of our Lynchburg community have come out and helped make that possible for our first home meet.
So we've got about 10 lengths left, according to the signs down there.
And then a men's heat too. Don't worry. We've got another heat coming up where the men's swim this way.
I just meant in this specific event. Sorry about that. I know some people probably heard that and I gotta get back to the stream because I had to use the bathroom just like I did when Brad was swimming.
Nope.
So, in your mind, take us back to when you swam this event. You know you have 10 lengths left. What do you have left? How do you make sure that you've got enough in the tank to finish strong?
Well, this is where the mental challenge really kicks into gear, right? You're entering the fourth quarter of the race. It's a 40 length of the pool race, and you're in these last 10. So you've got to really buckle down and make sure that your pace is still there, that you're not letting the race get to you, you're not letting the competition get to you, and you've got to believe that there's just a little bit more in the tank than it feels like. And so this is where you see a lot of the big swimmers step up, and Hannah's in a great race out there with 2 women on either side of her that she's racing. And it just becomes a point where when am I going to just drop the hammer and get to the wall? So it's an exciting part to kind of get into this last quarter, if you will.
And we're not even going to commercial break like the big boys do during these events.
Well, that was something I had a Twitter exchange with Rowdy Gaines this summer watching the long distance events. They went to commercial break during the distance events at World Championships, and tweeted at Rowdy Gaines, very famous swimming announcer, and I think he shared my he was sympathetic towards me as well, saying that the distance swimmers, there's so much intriguing things to watch, and there's so much exciting things to look at in the pool during the distance events, that it's not just about the sprints. Some people do like watching this stuff.
As we get closer to the end of this particular the female end of things, I want to know from your perspective. You've had a unique perspective of starting a program and trying to sell something that wasn't there before. When you're out on the recruiting trail and you're talking to parents and students, potential students, what's one thing that they may not know about the institution they can't find online? What's something that you're making sure they're aware of?
I think it's that subjective feeling, and it's that you don't really feel like you're at home until you're on campus, and you walk on campus, and the professors, the staff, the students, everybody sits and eats lunch together, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody, like you said, we've got the women's lacrosse team is up here watching a swim meet. They probably don't know anything about swimming, but they're cheering for one of our women's a dual sport athlete, and they're here to support her and the other women that they know that have met through her, and built that community. And it's tough to just talk about community. I hate just talking about things, and I think that's what it was. Always encourage them and take time out of our weekends and evenings, to have people come and visit campus and see these things firsthand and meet the great people that are here. Feel the support, the love that you're given, and it was one of the things that for me, looking at this position and looking at this opportunity, as soon as you sit down on our campus and you realize what the opportunity is here. Where else would you want to be?
It's a great question that I still don't have an answer for, as far as where else would you want to be. Well, that can also be said for Olivia Heeb-Wade. 33:20 on that last length, 11:35, first place in the 1,000 freestyle event. Mary Washington coming in second with Kara Lowengrub. Still not done yet. I will ask you, because I'm such a the novice of the group. 11:35, is that a pretty good time?
Awesome time. It's a very talented swimmer, and there comes Hannah coming in there, finishing up her race. Really, really good swimming from her as well. All these women that have finished so far in the pool, really, really strong for this time of the year too, because it's also one of the events that you're going to be quite a bit off of your best time until you're kind of in that resting period and taking some break, letting your body recover and be at its best. So this is one of those races that to pace like that and the way that these women did, all around, Mary Wash, Bridgewater, Hannah with her finish, Olivia coming in on her last 25 right here. Very, very good swimming. And I think it's something too, that's where a facility like this, a pool that's this fast, you get a little extra juice finishing up these races.
For sure, no question about that.
Getting Olivia in here, and then watching some of our guys get to work.
So when it comes to the swimmers specifically, what has been the biggest surprise? You obviously thought you had it all figured out in terms of recruiting. You saw them swim a year ago. What has been the biggest surprise for you?
how quickly they bonded. And it's something that by the end of the first week of practice, we had people making comments that it looked like we'd been together for years. Mm-hmm. Last week at ODEC Relays, at the end of our 5th week of the season, really great coaches coming up and saying, you look like you all have been at this for a decade. And it's comments like that and realizations like that we wanted to be there. And culture is our main focus, building the program. I announced the 1,000 here. But those are the things we wanted to do, and it's just happened so fast. And I think that speaks to the character of our swimmers, the culture of our campus, and, a lot of hard work by my assistant coaches.
So we just showed you the lane assignments for the men 1,000 freestyle event. Spence swam, and Zachary Bennett.
Yep.
2 Lynchburg representatives, and one of those gentlemen with the perfect last name.
Yes.
For what he does.
Yeah, he loves to really get on me with everything that we have that says Lynchburg Swim. He always wants to let me know that we misspelled his last name, which is swam, if anybody didn't catch that. So Spencer swam out there, and not the past tense of the verb, but Spencer was a cross-country runner here. It was running last year when he came to Lynchburg and approached me and said, I love being on the team here, but I was always kind of a better swimmer, and now that there's the team, do you think I'd have an opportunity to swim? And that type of fortitude and that assertiveness, I was like, absolutely. And he kind of started coming around with some of our club practices last year, and just a fantastic young man, and nice to have some people on this team that are talented swimmers, but also, upperclassmen, not all freshmen. And, I think that on the other side of that, Zach, who's out there swimming in lane 7 for us, is a freshman and is kind of taking on this mantle of swimming more distance than I think he anticipated. But, if you can see it all right on the live stream, he's got a great stroke and he's got a great work ethic and puts him in some good positions to swim some distance.
What is a reasonable goal for your team in the first year? Obviously, you're going to want to be successful. You're going to want to win individual events when you can. But when you look at the end of the season, where do you want to be?
I want to be in a spot where we feel like we are building, like we are growing on and building off of momentum from lifetime bests, from a great culture, a supportive culture, in a spot where people are excited to come back next year. I think that you look at where we rank in the ODAC or where we might rank nationally. There's things that obviously we'd like to be pretty high in those rankings. But I think for me is that when we wrap up the season and we kind of have our end of season banquet, I want there to be a hunger and an eagerness to get back in the water and to continue this and bring in a great recruiting class to continue building on what we have. To me, when we finish, and it's something that people want to be a part of, especially as a sport that's as grueling and as tiresome as this can be on the day-to-day, that's the part that we really want to continue growing and building on. And so far we're right on line for that goal, and and maybe sneaking in some of those other things as well. I think that we're going to be able to compete with our conference. I think that we're going to be able to look at some of those national qualifying times and on men's and women's side both, and be shooting for some of those. And so maybe a little bit ahead of where we thought we would be starting off. I think just that general collective feeling and eagerness is what we want to shoot for.
Well, that sounds reasonable to me. Not that I'm an expert. I think that is a reasonable goal, and you guys are certainly on the way to reaching those expectations.
Yeah. Well, and I think, too, you look at it a lot of the time, and you can have successful seasons, you can swim fast, win races, but we want to create a family here. And so I think that's the reason why we had so many of these swimmers buy in, was because they were ready to compete in this difficult sport, but with a supportive family around them. And we do that, then the swimming's going to take care of itself, Joe. The practices, we feel great. We've got an extremely experienced and energetic coaching staff. We feel great about what we're doing in the water, and those kind of more intangible things. We're on track with those, but that's where we really want to see the team grow.
Speaking of family, I believe your mom is
here.
Yeah.
She
made it down?
she flew in last night. She's from North Carolina, so spent some time with her family down there yesterday and drove up today. A little aside, she always made peanut butter cookies for the Mary Washington team when I swam.
Oh.
So
she didn't make them for Mary Washington today.
She made them for our team today. I think the head coach over there, though, Justin Anderson, great guy, great coach, and a good friend of mine. We were teammates there at Mary Washington, so I think she's got him a bag that support
That's
him.
That's only
so.
right. That's only fair.
Yeah, and I really pushed my little brother Lincoln and my little sister Betsy to be watching out in Texas where they live. So they better be on the stream now. And then my dad's following along as well from home. So excited about all of the capabilities that we have. And I think too, I'd like to give a shout out to all of our other families that are watching. If you have a brother, a sister, a daughter, or a son, just anybody in your extended family or friends, this is such a great opportunity to get to watch them swim, listen to me ramble on during the thousands. And
we all signed up for it.
And just keep track of their progress. And so anybody that's taking time out of their Friday evenings, I do want to thank you all for your support. But then also too our Bridgewater and Mary Washington families. Hopefully you all are getting some enjoyment and watching your swimmers as well. We want it to be an avenue for everybody to get to enjoy our sport.
So we've obviously talked a lot about the University of Lynchburg itself and what makes it so special. What about the town of Lynchburg? Because that's important, too, when you're recruiting. You want to enjoy the area that surrounds your campus. Your family's not from here, but they've come to visit you. They enjoyed it at their age group. And what about younger folks like you and I?
Yeah,
we enjoy it.
You're just tossing me softballs right now, Joe.
I'm trying my best.
Joe knows how much I love Lynchburg.
And
moving here and at the beginning of this program, I wanted to not only be all in with our team and our school, but I wanted to be all in our city as well. And so I live downtown. I have a great apartment set up where I can walk to all the downtown running trails, the restaurants. I've got my coffee roaster that I'm buddies with downtown. And I think that even in the short time span that you and I have been here, you've seen the growth and you've seen exciting news. And it's a great place for young people. It's a great place for families. And there's a lot of fun stuff to do. I think that people may not have heard of Lynchburg, Virginia, but it is a town of 80,000 people. It's host to lots of different universities, not only ours, but the Liberty University that we're on the campus of, Randolph College across town, Sweetbriar College not too far away. And you get young people, you get energetic people, and people that care about their community. And I'm definitely one of them. And I love not only being a part of Lynchburg, but helping it grow and being a part of that process.
That makes two of us. Well, probably a couple more than two of us, but at least you and I at this moment a part of that group. Okay, so we're more than halfway through, or about halfway through, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
You see the times. You've seen them for Zach and Spencer. If you were out there on the pool deck itself, are you doing anything specifically? You're just letting them swim the race?
A lot of times I want them to just swim the race, and a lot of the feedback will be after. But one of the perks with what we're looking at in distance swimming is that we've got our counters down at the end of the pool, and we've got the coaches on the side, and so you can kind of throw some signals out. And you'll see a lot of coaches in swimming we'll have goal paces that we want to hold, or we'll have things that we want to do in a race, and we'll have different ways to signal that. One of mine, I always want to support our swimmers, so when they're breathing to my side, if they're having a good race, I've got two arms up in the air, really excited for them, let them know that we're in it with them, because I've been there too. Mm-hmm. But if they're just kind of off some things, if they're just off the splits that they want to hold, we'll shake the counter. And not a super secret of ours. You'll see a lot of swim teams do it, but it's kind of a fun nugget to look for if you're new to swimming, like I know you guys are. But watching people with how they want to split the race, they'll throw some signals out there using their counters and coaches.
Yeah, I asked you at the Randolph meet because I had never seen that before. I didn't know if you were just flexing. You're just trying to show off your guns?
Not my body type. Not a distance swimmer, aerobic athlete, that type of stuff. Not trying to show off ever. But no, just trying to. And it's hard too. It's a hard race, and so when we're out there, I want them to know that we're with them, that we're supporting them, that we're paying attention, and all of these guys, Hannah and Olivia, and then Zach and Spencer, they knew that I was going to be up here on the broadcast. So I promised I'd keep saying good things about them, and they know that I'm out there really, really watching them and proud of their races that they're having right now. Both of them are in the middle of tough training, kind of converted distance swimmers and stepping up to take these events on for us, and that's something that I really appreciate.
Last thing I want to ask before we get to, the end of this 1,000-yard freestyle is when you are recruiting. Say someone's watching this and they're trying to figure out if they fit in with your program. Obviously, you're looking at times for one, but how do you determine if their personality would fit with your culture?
I mean, it's the eagerness. It's people that talk about a love of the sport, a love of team, a love of family, and they're the swimmers that are going to build this program, and the ones that we have here are the ones that just really want to be here. And it's tough to do that when it's in the middle of October and you're middle of tough training and stuff that we've just got to do to get better. But to be surrounded by people that are going to pick you up and are going to be supportive and going to be energy givers to the program, those are the people we want. And talent-wise, we've got a wide array of talent on the team right now. But that's stuff that we'll work with, and that's stuff that that us as coaches are challenged to make our swimmers better and to give them advice and feedback in the pool. But then it's that team and family around them that's going to really get them to the next level and have that experience, a memorable one, and something that when they get together with teammates like Justin and I are doing, and not to mention too, I know Allison Martin and Chrissy Boyer are here as well, two other teammates that we had at Mary Washington. We don't talk about times. We don't talk about races. We talk about all the great times that we had as teammates and the training trips that we went on, the daily practices, fun stuff that we used to do. That's the stuff that at the end of the day we really love talking about and being a part of.
Coming to the finish, Austin Bacon for Bridgewater out front in lane 5, but it's Mary Wash first.
Yep.
Bradley Torrington. So it says 2, but
I think that they hit the plunger at the wrong time, or he did an extra lap. I missed. I was watching my guys.
Yeah. Well, they blew the whistle in Bradley's lane, but Austin was listed as first on the board. So
hey, that's not your fault. And everybody listening, I'm sure Joe has qualified it, but he was new to swimming and eager to learn, and we really appreciate that. And that one had a name. It was number 1 by Austin's name up there. So. Not Joe's fault on that call there. So
Mary Wash wins another event. They do have a lot of swimmers on their squad. Of course, they've also been around a while.
Yeah.
So they've got a culture already established.
Yeah, and it's so exciting for me too to see them come in here to get. It's a little poetic, Joe. To get to host my first home meet against my alma mater that did so much for me and my love of swimming and my eagerness to be a college coach. And my coach is there, Matt Selman and Abby Brethauer. We're pivotal parts of that, and excited to see Justin here carrying that on. So we're going to start speeding up in some events here as soon as we get Zach into the wall. So, Joe, thank you so much for having me up here. I know some of my assistants are going to drop in later on in the meet during the breaks, and
can't wait.
I think they're a little nervous, so go easy on them, please.
Be okay. No, they'll be fine. Can't wait to talk to Donna about the facility and Coach Green about being a coach now.
I know,
instead of a swimmer.
Not long ago he was swimming.
That's right. That's right. Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Joe.
Really do appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Coach Brad Dunn of University of Lynchburg Swimming in his first year at the helm, the first year for Lynchburg since 1971. And he just watched Lynchburg finish 7th and 8th with a dominant Mary Washington performance again. So we've got Bridgewater in the women's side with a win on the 1,000-yard freestyle, and Mary Washington with the win on the men's side. Here's a look at your lane assignments for the freestyle, 200 yards. And in the pool they go. First one in was Caitlin Freese of Lynchburg. So, of course, it's 25 on one length, so they have to swim 2 to reach 50. So it'll be 4 times here as they come back on the first go around. It's Sydney Hall from Mary Washington out front. Claudia Keller is in second. Caitlin Freese first in the pool, but 6th after the first turn. Or second turn, I beg your pardon, after the first lap. Coming in, touching the wall, still Sydney Hall. Out front, all Mary Washington claiming the first 4 spots before Emma Grace is in 5th for Lynchburg. Just about 2 minutes in. And the winner is Claudia Keller. All Mary Wash the entire race. And Keller's 2 minutes and 1 second, .42 is good enough for number 1. Emma Grace Spock, the first of Lynchburg swimmers, along with Caitlin Freese. And then Bridgewater will round out the 8 on the board before we bring up the men's 200. Brandon Godden and Trezor Ortel, your Lynchburg swimmers, coming up alongside Kellen Campbell out of Chantilly, Virginia. It's a Mary Washington team that looks to be dominant based on prior results. They were voted to claim their 20th straight CAC crown in the preseason. They did recently fall to Washington and Lee on the men's side. And of course, we mentioned they're favored to win their 20th. The men's team captured the 2019 CAC title last season. The men's 200. First in the pool, Austin Farrar, lane 3 of the pool for Mary Washington. And after lap 1, it's still Farrar. Brandon Godden in 3rd. Sam McKee in 2nd place. We do have an issue with the scoreboard, so if we show that to you, there's only 6 lanes showing up, and there is not even a name in lane 2. Swimmer, Godden, Farrar, Campbell, Williams, McKee, Ortel, and Scott are in the pool. And still Farrar out in front. Farrar on his way back. And it's Farrar with a time of 1:47.12. Sam McKee, the 1:50.88 in 2nd place. Kellen Campbell and Brandon Godden. Great times for the Hornets. 4th and 5th place. Well, it should be 3rd and 4th place, respectively. Well, I believe they got the names wrong as well. Brandon Godden actually was the last swimmer to touch the wall. So his time was 2:23.44. First Lynchburg swimmer would have been Trezor Ortel with that 1:53.89. We'll figure it out. Luckily, I've been to a few practices, so regarding Lynchburg, anyway, I know who is who for the most part. So when this one is officially over, this will be 6 events in the books of a 16-event meet. And we've got the officials walking around discussing what may or may not be the end of this race. There's our judge today for the start line. It's Mr. Hank Mearswa, the only All-American in Lynchburg history for swimming. Graduated in 1973. He competed at the NAIA National Championship meet in 1971, and that was the final year of Lynchburg swimming before they put a ballroom floor over top of the pool. Until this year. And instead of trying to build a pool, we'll just drive down the road 10 minutes and swim in somebody else's. So thankful for Liberty University, not just for the pool space for the athletes on Lynchburg's roster, but also their help today regarding this stream. They obviously have done live streams before of swimming and have a great setup for it. And we're bringing our equipment over from Lynchburg's campus, and sometimes that can make things hairy, but everyone remained calm this afternoon and allowed us to get things set up in plenty of time. We were ready to go. Unfortunately, there were still heat issues, printing issues, and the like. So we got started about 10 minutes later than scheduled, and looks like we're also experiencing another delay. Ironically, an hour from when the meet was supposed to start. And it still involves these heats and names of racers in the heats, evidenced by the issue on the scoreboard in the last race. Here we go with the women's 100-yard backstroke. Just 3 swimmers, and they're all from Mary Washington. So this will be a race for time. Courtney Wolfgang, Genevieve Meadows, and Julia Geske in lanes 3, 6. Well, it says 3, 6, and 9, but they're actually in 5, 6, and 7. Sometimes visuals are more accurate than the digital stuff. There's a look at the 3 Eagles. Now, I'm sure they were in those lanes possibly to begin with on the sheet, but only 3 swimmers that just decide, hey, I want to go with all 3 of us together. the end. Lane 5, then 6, then 7. Apologies for the delay on the name. Having some issues of our own as far as what this sheet shows. They cut off the last name. It was Grace Nicolai, a sophomore from Dumfries, Virginia, with the win on the 100-meter backstroke for the ladies. And we can throw the first sheet of paper in the recycling bin as we move on to heat number 2. So the first heat was an exhibition. This will count, and that's why you have a full pool. They have begun. First one in. Caitlin Hilliker from Bridgewater College in lane 8. No official split times just yet. Looks like Kaylee Benson had a heck of a turn. And she's second. First is Beth Kelly in lane 3. Hilliker, just so you know, is in 5th place after one lap. The final turn. It's a sprint, a dead heat between 9th and 3rd lane. 3rd lane to 9th lane. Is it Kelly or is it Benson? It's Kelly, Beth Kelly. 102.08. Just about a second before her teammate, Kaylee Benson, touched the wall. Grace Nicolai in 3rd. Nesslerot in 4th. Hilliker 5th, Hayden Updike in 6th for Lynchburg, and Grace Rogansky in 7th. The men's 100-yard backstroke. 9 swimmers on my sheet and only 2 on the board, so this will be really interesting. So here is the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Peppersack, Richardson, Carpenter, Monteith, Dillon, Ang, Bennett, Bergstrom, and Francis from lanes 1 to lane 9. Really tight after that first turn. And we've got a good one here, lane 4. Monteith for Lynchburg, first place after the first lap. Final turn. They've completed 75 meters. Still too close to call at this juncture of the pool. And it looks like breaking away. Mary Washington's going to get the wall first. Alex Ang. And then Monteith. Ang wasn't even in the running after the first lap. What a great turn for him on the 3rd. And finishing strong for the victory. All right, moving right along. This is the beauty of swimming meets. A lot of people like to compare them to track meets, and trust me, I've been to plenty of track meets. This is way faster and typically more organized. I don't know what the issues have been, but I will say that everyone has remained calm during those moments, and we were able to, in the end, get what everybody needed. Heat sheets and names and moving right along. Time for the men's 100-yard breaststroke. I beg your pardon, the women's 100-yard breaststroke. Women's, ladies first. That's how it works. So now the gentlemen get out of the pool after waiting for the official results. Washington having a good race day. Winners of all but 2 events so far. Good look at the Lynchburg crowd in attendance. A lot of family members of the Hornets here tonight. I see some volleyball players as well in the stands. Making the short trip over here to Liberty University. That was Claire Galloway on your screen.
You're at 50. And what are you at, Lily?
So we're still having some issues. So not able to begin the backstroke just yet for the ladies. We have not been told what the issues are with scoring or printing. We do know, however, that we're running out of battery power on our cameras, so if anybody wants to run by the office and pick up some chargers for us, that'll work. My director says he still doesn't know after asking some folks what the issues might be, so we patiently await. The officials talking to one of the managers from Liberty for the event. We do have names on the board now, which is a good sign. So we have heard that the go ahead and start command. So apologies for still not knowing what the underlying issues have been here. But I promise if we knew, we would let you know. In the meantime, women's 100-yard breaststroke. And we are ready to go. And in the pool are 9 swimmers. Tight one here at the wall. It is Lynchburg, just barely. Claire Galloway out front.
Erica, it's the women 100 meter breaststroke.
Galloway a part of that opening medley team that won the 200-yard medley relay. With Alyssa Reed, Molly Shand, and Abby Arthur. Costanza close by, but first on the board, it says Galloway with a 108 flat. Coach Dunn happy about all of his swimmers' times. Certainly got to be happy about Galloway's finish. Time for the men, no delay between this, so quickly in the pool, here go the men 100-yard breaststrokes. About 14 and a half seconds to the first turn. Heads bobbing and weaving up the individual lanes. Mary Washington first and second, Lynchburg third and fourth. Swanner and Jennings for the Hornets. Top 2, red and black caps. Get Mark Dye. Smetana as well. Great runs for the Hornets. It's Mary Wash with the individual win in lane 8. That was Mark Dye. Time for the women's 200-yard butterfly. So once again, a delay on the computer side. So this certainly will not finish when it is expected to finish. And we do want to go ahead and just let you know that because of all of this and not being fully aware of power sources and all that stuff, unless someone is able to bring us the chargers for our cameras that are listening and close to campus, we will have to end the broadcast when the cameras do lose complete power. They've got about 45 minutes remaining on them, so we should be able, in a normal circumstance, that would probably get us to the end of the meet. About 2 hours. Coach Dunn stating that 3 teams, 9 lanes, 2 hours and over with. But again, just issues with scoring. It might even be Meet Mobile, the software that they use for live scoring on events. Coach Dunn doing what he can to keep it lively for the swimmers. It's got to be frustrating for the athletes. You're psyching yourself up, you're ready to go, jump in the pool, and then you're asked to step off the starting blocks and wait some more. Some of these ladies have not participated in any other event, so this is their first time to jump in, and they're having to wait a little bit longer before they're ready to go.
The guy that's walking right below.
Not a bad time to remind you about so much happening on Lynchburg's campus today and tomorrow. Of course, this is the beginning of homecoming, both at Lynchburg and at Liberty. And so tonight, we'll begin with the Hall of Fame dinner. As you see the next lane assignments for the 200-meter butterfly, 200-yard butterfly, beg your pardon. So the dinner and the award ceremony for the class of 2019 Hall of Fame members in the Sports Hall of Fame. There are 6 members being inducted, including 2 current members, Lucas Jones, the head coach for baseball, and the director of athletic training services, Caroline Wesley. Tomorrow, a long day on campus and really beyond. Everyone is in action tomorrow except for the swim program. But it begins on campus at 2:30 with field hockey battling Eastern Mennonite. Then at 5 o'clock, it's women's soccer against Roanoke. And the nightcap features men's soccer taking on the Royals of EMU. And for our purposes, it's a huge day because it is day 1 of our partnership with ESPN3. The only Division III school in the country to have such a partnership. Not every single event will be on ESPN3, so there will be limited numbers of that, and we certainly will do our best to share that schedule with you. And I'll go ahead and say now, the schedule has nothing to do with biases or anything of that nature. It really has everything to do with the schedule. If there are 2 games at the same time, we can't split up, or we have to split up our resources amongst equipment and student workers. So not able to do ESPN3 on those days, on most of those days, I should say. But we are going to do as many of those broadcasts as possible. And if you are still unsure how that process works, head over to, well, you're already on the YouTube channel, so you can just stay on the YouTube channel and check out the video that was posted this morning at approximately 8 o'clock, 8:03 to be exact, this morning. It goes through the process, 3 different options for you on the computer. And then we also have a mobile version of that walkthrough coming out.
Before, we've always just pushed it. Like, I just push it to 10.
It's also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lynchburg Sports. We ask that you check us out on social media. It's really easy. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, just type in Lynchburg Sports and you'll find us. The official accounts for your Lynchburg Hornets. And the best way to stay up to date with everything that's going on with your favorite team. Or your favorite enemy, I don't know. If you're a Bridgewater fan, you probably like seeing the L of Lynchburg in the loss column. Okay, 200-yard butterfly. Heat 1 of 1. 9 swimmers are away. And again, no split times, but taking a look, and Lynchburg the first up out of the pool. Alyssa Reed out front for the Hornets. This is just another day for a great swimmer at Lynchburg. A Lynchburg native. Was a part of the club swimming program at Lynchburg before deciding to come back for another year to give it a shot and let her results count towards the NCAA times. She made it to nationals as a club swimmer. And she's through 100 with 103.25 time. Tight race for second right now in lanes 8, 7, and 6. Zach Rabelny, Shand, and Whitesell. Mary Washington, Lynchburg, Mary Washington. Shand and Whitesell are neck and neck. Meanwhile, Reed still out front, but not by a whole lot. Whitesell catching up in lane 6. Check them out as they make their last turn. Down the home stretch. Reed, Whitesell. Whitesell pulling ahead. Whitesell's going to hold on and win it in a comeback fashion for the Eagles. Who will it be for second, Shand or Reed? It's Reed, but just barely. 2:17.49 for Reed, 2:18.23 for Shand. But how about the finishing power of Aaron Whitesell with the 2:16.57. Did not have the lead until the last half length of the pool. That's when it counts most, at the end. Another win for the Eagles of Mary Washington. And we'll see if we can get through 2 events without a long delay. Of course, the men 200-yard butterfly lining up. 6 Mary Washington swimmers, 1 from Bridgewater and 1 from Lynchburg. It'll be Parker Hands in lane 4. He gets the juices flowing on the blocks. You can see Alyssa Reed is still in the pool waiting for the signal to get out. And now they can. Different than the way they did it at Randolph. You would cool down by swimming to the other end and getting out there. Really poetic moment there. Caitlin Freese, Emma Grace Spock talking things over after the race, showcasing that family aspect that Coach Dunn was talking about earlier on the broadcast. Meanwhile, the men are in and away. 25 yards completed. Bridgewater and Mary Washington out front to start. Lanes 3 and 6. Torrington and Cunningham. Parker Hands right there in the middle in lane 4. Now you also have Brian Harnish in lane 2. Great look at Hands and Cunningham finishing 75. Cunningham slowing down, actually looking to his left that time to see how much he had lost to Torrington. And it's a good bit for everybody. Torrington starting to pull away after every turn. Torrington, Hands, and Cunningham. And that remains the same. $50 yards to go. Torrington, Hands, and Cunningham. 1, 2, 3. Harnish in 4th. Torrington's had a half-body lead for the last 100 yards. Now he's got a full-body lead. Look at the closing speed of Torrington. Hands keeping up. But in the end, it'll be another Eagle victory for the gray and blue. Torrington with a time of 1:59 flat. Hands comes in at 2:01.96. And Cunningham, 3rd place, 2:05.10. There's Parker Hands getting out of the pool. With a good finish, good time for the freshman out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is where Mary Washington is located. So whether he was on the list of potential Eagles, he decided to come to Lynchburg anyway. $50-yard freestyle. This will be quick. Heat 1, just an exhibition. This will not count towards the overall numbers today, so it's up and back. Mary Wash with those silver caps out front. And it will be lane 3. Julia May with the finish at first. Jenny Thompson, followed by Claudia Keller, Mackenzie Katzer, Hayden Updike, and Grace Wagansky. Final finishers in Heat 1 of 2, the exhibition heat of the women's 50 freestyle. There'll be 8 swimmers for Heat 2, which will count towards the overall numbers today. Lynchburg has 3 swimmers in the pool: Corinne Ford, Micah Slacum, Abby Arthur, and lanes 2, 4, and 7. First one in the pool is Slacum, the 2-sport athlete. Fast on the lacrosse field and looking to be fast in this 50-meter freestyle. Off the wall was Grace Gartham from Mary Wash in lane 9. She still got the lead, but what a finish for second. Gartman, Hall, and then Micah Slacum for the Hornets. Top 3 finish for the Hornet in lane 4. Abby Arthur in 6th, and Corinne Ford in 4th for Lynchburg. Very good showing overall by those 3 Hornets. And of course, Mary Wash doing what Mary Wash has done all evening long. There's a look in finishing order, as I think we might have the scoreboard issues out of our way. The biggest question will be, will they do their intermission between events? I think they've had enough breaks that they're probably just going to breeze through the 15-minute break. In fact, well, we'll find out. It's supposed to be after the 50-yard freestyle. Men's 50-yard freestyle, Heat 1 exhibition. Trezor Ortel for Lynchburg in lane 3. Brandon Godin in lane 5, and Jason Weed in lane 7. Mancini and Leckrone out there for the Eagles, and it'll be the Eagles 1 and 2. At the finish, Gareth Mancini takes the win with that 22.64 time. Thomas Leckrone, Jason Weed, Trezor Ortel, and Brandon Godin. Your final times. There's Jason Weed, by the way. Final times on the board. And there's a look at the 50-yard freestyle. It says meter on the board, says yards on the heat sheet. Stick to the heat sheet. 8 swimmers in the pool, stretching from lanes 2 to 9. Mason Swanner, second in the pool. Colin Hoffman of Mary Wash first in there off the blocks. Here's the turn, coming back. Can't even tell who's out front. So many waves. Who will touch the line? It's going to be Ross Garrett from Mary Wash in first. Ellis Winfrey second. Chris Jennings from Lynchburg in third. Colin Hoffman in fourth. Matt Fields in fifth. Mason Swanner sixth, and Ben Williams in seventh place. So a 5-minute break. They'll cut the 15 minutes to 5 minutes, and we'll take a 5-minute break as well. When we come back, we will have the women's 100-yard freestyle on LHSN.
Hi, Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something. It becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you, and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you, and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here, you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Okay. We're good.
Look what you're missing!
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it in our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do. Nope. This is.
Cool.
This is.
Thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
This is.
Welcome back to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. The Hornets of University of Lynchburg hosting the Eagles of Bridgewater College and University of Mary Washington. I'm Joe Hutzler with you tonight inside the Liberty University Natatorium, and it's been a great one so far. Some delays to get us started. We were about 15 minutes to 20 minutes late getting started and had some issues. I did talk to Coach Dunn. It is something that has been fixed regarding the scoring system and the timing system, so we should be able to give you the times on the screen a little bit better than previously. So that should mean that the next 15 events should go faster than the first 15 did as we get ready for the women's 100-yard freestyle. We do want to make you aware again that unfortunately our one camera that we have now, we've tried to conserve batteries, so we've taken a battery from one of the side cameras that we've been using and put it up top. So we've got one camera until both of those batteries are dead here inside the pool. So again, we apologize up front. I'll do it again when we have to finish. This is not at all the way that we wanted this to end, but it's also not the way Coach Dunn has wanted the meet to progress either, based on the slowdowns, based on just overall feeling of this meet in general. So not the greatest, but certainly still better than it could have been. And I want to take time to thank Liberty University for their help in getting us set up today. I also want to thank the crew that is working today. Now it's just one camera lady, Erica McLeod, who's a Liberty University alumni. Willie Folks is graduating in December. He was on the other camera doing a great job giving you those up close and personal shots of the swimmers coming down that first lane. And then, on that first leg of the first lap, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, Josh Conwell is to my right tonight and figuring things out with me as we go along, since this is swimming broadcast number one for all of us. And he's our director this evening and doing a very fine job bringing in the picture-in-picture, which is a nice aspect to the broadcast, allowing you to see the times as they are recorded. And the beauty of all of this is that this isn't a one-and-done situation for the team or for us. They'll be back here November 9th. It's their Code Red meet at 1 p.m. on a Saturday, Lynchburg Invitational, and we will be back in here for that event. So we will learn from today. Definitely have chargers just in case. We normally would be okay for 2 to 2.5 hours, but with the delays, we are in need of chargers, and we do not have those. So we will bring those just in case next time. And we'll also make sure that the system, not we, but the institution, the managers will make sure the system is working. And we should be able to have a quicker meet for you overall on November 9th. So very excited about what lies ahead for us. We are back in action, heat 1 of 2 in the women's 100-yard freestyle. 3 swimmers, Grace Rogansky, Genevieve Meadows, and Haley Morse in this exhibition. So 2 full laps equaling 100 yards. NCAA, 1 length is 25. So it will be the Eagles in this exhibition heat. Finishing first and second, Morse and Meadows. Grace Rogansky coming in. Looking at her time. Let's see if it's where Coach Dunn likes it. He says, nice job, Grace, with the 1:11.95. Just like that, we're ready for the next set of swimmers. Lanes 2 through 8 will be in use. Three from Lynchburg, 3 from Mary Washington, and 1 Gina Young from Bridgewater College in the middle. Micah Slacum once again first in the pool. She was first in during the 50, and she's first in during this 100. Halfway through, Mary Washington leading it in lanes 3 and 8. Costanza, Geske, Micah Slacum in third for the Hornets. It's still Geske and Costanza at the last turn. Change in third, though. Sally Berkeley for Mary Washington finishing strong. Looks like it'll be a quote-unquote podium sweep for the Eagles. It's close at the end. And Slacum with the fingertips from fourth to third on the last 25 yards. Excellent run, swim, I'll get the terms right. Excellent swim by Slacum for Lynchburg to battle back and keep that top 3 finish. You see the list there, 1 through 4. Heat 1 for the men's 100-yard freestyle. Chris Richardson, along with Huber Wilker. That's his hyphenated last name, by the way. Trezor Ortel. Jonathan Swimmer in the pool. First to touch. It'll be Swimmer from Mary Washington. Swimmer still out in front of this exhibition. Tight battle for third between the two Hornets. Ortel and Richardson. And Ortel will get there first. Next up, we have 7 swimmers for Heat 2, the point scoring heat of the men's 100-yard freestyle. Swam, Ross, Jennings, Williams, Scott, Fields, and Dye are your swimmers from lanes 2 through 8. Once again, in the middle, the lone Bridgewater Eagle, Ben Williams. It was Ross Garrett, excuse me, I did it again. Garrett Ross in the pool first for the Eagles. First overall was Spencer Swam, 60.60 reaction time. Off the block and in the pool. But after lap 1, it's Scott, Dye, and Ross. All Mary Wash. Fields and Jennings, 5th and 6th, pretty tight times. At the finish, 48.67. It's Matthew Scott, followed up by Mark Dye and Garrett Ross. Chris Jennings, the first Hornet to touch, in 4th place. Matt Fields in 5th. Spencer Swam in 6th. And Ben Williams in 7th and the final position. Ready to go for the 200-meter backstroke. 200-yard backstroke. Oh, this is rough. I'm so sorry. The scoreboard says meters. My heat sheet says freestyle, or says yards. I'm looking up. I'm not looking down. Again, things will be better on November 9th. Lynchburg Invitational, Code Red meet at 1 o'clock. Just one heat here. Now lane 1 does not count towards the overall finish. Beth Kelly, an exhibition run. A 200-yard backstroke. Julia May in lane 2. Kaylee Benson in lane 3. Lane 4, Sarah Ossen. Lane 5, Amanda Nesslerolt. Lane 6, Jenny Thompson. Lane 7, Molly Shand. One of 2 Hornets in the pool. And you also have Lauren Kokoski, I had it right the first time, from Bridgewater, 34.60 in 5th place for Kokoski in lane 8. This is my favorite stroke, by the way, as far as the one that I can do really well. Reminds me of the lazy days of summer at Smith Mountain Lake, not too far from Lynchburg, Virginia. .125 in the books. Coming back for 150 yards. Jenny Thompson still holding a slight lead over her teammate, Kaylee Benson. Julia May in third in lane 2. Molly Shand for Lynchburg in lane 7. Last turn of the women's 200-yard backstroke. And it will look like Thompson finishing strong and a time of 2:14.66. Benson in second. Shand working her way into a top 3 finish after being 4th through 150 yards. Excellent push at the end for Shand, who's had a very nice evening. Part of that medley relay group that won the first event of the night. Isn't it fascinating how quickly things go when the system, when technology is working properly? Just like that, we're ready for the 200-yard backstroke for the men. All 9 lanes are full. Lanes 1 and 9 are exhibition for Mary Washington. So pay close attention points-wise to lanes 2 through 8. Campbell, Bergstrom, Bennett, Dillon, Mancini, Monteith, and Mumford. No signs. After 50 meters, Lynchburg in the lead. Kanan Monteith. We kept it really close earlier in the meet. Go back and look at this sheet really quickly. It was the 100-yard backstroke. Now he's in the 200-yard backstroke. So no surprise that Monteith is out front. Monteith, Bennett for Lynchburg, coming from 3rd to 2nd on that reach. Gareth Mancini in 3rd place. Through 100 meters, Lynchburg claiming the top 2 spots. But of course, the next 100 is where it really counts. Where that mental fortitude Coach Dunn was talking about earlier really comes into play. Looks like Kevin Bennett is going to reach and touch first this time. So Bennett outdoing his teammate at the moment. 1:30.24, had a split of 30.78. Excellent numbers for Kevin Bennett. Again, an ODAC swimmer of the week earlier this season after their opening meet against Randolph. A 104.85 win for the men, 129.30 win for the women in their first meet since 1971. And Bennett will come in first with a time of 2:01.55. Monteith in second. Nice 1-2 finish for the Hornets. Mancini in 3rd, Bergstrom 4th, Campbell in 5th. And we'll show you those results once they are finished. One more time awaiting. That's Ben Dillon from Bridgewater. And he touches the wall with a time that doesn't show up. There it is, 2:30.14. This one will be a little bit longer. As you take a look at Bennett climbing out of the pool after a successful 200-yard backstroke. Next up is the 500-yard freestyle. Apologies, I skipped ahead in the program. This is the breaststroke next, not the 500-yard freestyle. So the 200-yard breaststroke. Pasevek will not be swimming for points in lane 1. Hayden Updike in lane 2. Courtney Wolfgang 3. In lane 4, it's Claire Galloway, who has a first place finish to her credit tonight. Rachel King in lane 5, Grace Nikolai in lane 6, and it's Jessie Lee in lane 7. And over in lane 9, skipping lane 8, Mary Zagrabelny. 3 swimmers in at .70. Tight race here. Galloway and Zagrabelny. It's Zagrabelny out front, but not by much. 33.77. Galloway 33.79 after 50 yards. Just got an update from the crew. 15 minutes of battery life remaining. Really good race between first and second. And it's still Zagrabelny by a hair. Each with 112. Zagrabelny 0.24, Galloway 0.57. Right now the clear front runners of this 200-yard breaststroke. And they'll have 75 yards to go after this turn. Top 2 remains the same. Now Zagrabelny did increase her time by a little bit, 14 hundredths of a second. Who's it going to be? Zagrabelny or Galloway? This one's close, folks. Lane 4, lane 9, it is Zagrabelny with the 231.12, Galloway 231.75. Those splits just a little bit off. You wonder how the start affected those final finishes as the last 3 swimmers round out the 200-yard breaststroke. There's a look at the final results of the female 200-yard breaststroke. Here's the male 200-yard breaststroke up next. Lanes 1 and 9, exhibition. So 2 through 8. Godwin, Matt Wariski, Mason Swanner, Sean Cunningham, Aiden Deege, Spencer Swam, and Stephen Wallach. Lanes 2 through 8. .65 for Mason Swanner and Caleb Smetana. But again, lane 1 and lane 9, Smetana and Ittinger, beg your pardon. Not counting towards points. So we are on reserve power now on our camera. It's time for me to give you some of the important notes as we finish up our broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to the first LHSN swimming broadcast. We are excited for November 9th, Saturday, November 9th, Lynchburg Invitational. The Code Red meet at 1 p.m. All the information you need about Lynchburg Sports is at lynchburgsports.com and on social media at Lynchburg Sports. Tune in tomorrow, 3 games on ESPN3, field hockey against EMU at 2:30 p.m. Women's soccer battles Roanoke at 5 p.m. and then men's soccer takes on the Royals of Eastern Mennonite at 7:30 on ESPN3 from Schellenberger Field. It is homecoming weekend. It will sure to be a fun time all weekend long. We're happy to have you if you are watching, or if you decide to come out, say hello. We'd love to see you. Last event of the night for us, it's the men's 200-yard breaststroke. And it's coming to a close now. Once again, thank you so much for supporting everything that we're doing here, supporting these athletes. That's why we do it, because we know that they matter. Round of applause to the crew. Willie Folks, Erica McLeod on camera, Josh Conwell pushing all the buttons in the director's seat. Big thanks to Coach Brad Dunn for taking us inside his world and the world of Lynchburg swimming earlier in the day. If you want more madness on your Friday, tune in tonight at 10 p.m. Midnight Madness starts the basketball season. We'll introduce the basketball teams. Cheer, dance team, step team will all perform. Dell has some magical dance moves herself that she'll perform with some lucky contestants in the stands. And of course, Pyrotechnique will perform. A group out of Chicago entertaining the Hornets, friends and fans. At the end of the 200-yard breaststroke, it's Wallach with a 2:23.28. Then Wariski, then Deege, then Swanner, your first Lynchburg finisher with 2:28.87. So for the entire LHSN crew, again, we remind you to follow along at lynchburgsports.com for more information. After today's meet, it'll all be there in recap form for you to see. Until next time, I'm Joe Hutzler reminding you it's a great day to be a Hornet, and we are one nation.
I said that was the last one. I don't want